Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. Twitter and Square CEO Jack Dorsey is an outspoken Bitcoin enthusiast and advocate for decentralized technology, so it's hardly surprising to hear he has kind words for Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto during an appearance on the Artificial Intelligence podcast with MIT research scientist Lex Fridman via The Daily and Hodl. Dorsey praised the decision to attribute the original cryptocurrency to a pseudonym rather than trying or tying it to a real identity or releasing it anonymously into the world. He said, "I think it was smart not to do it anonymous, not to do it as a real identity, but to do it as a pseudonym, because I think it builds tangibility and a little bit of empathy. That this was a human or a set of humans behind it, that there's this natural identity that I can imagine." Weird sentence. He also called the Bitcoin white paper one of the most seminal works of computer science in the last 20 to 30 years and said it was poetry. But when asked whether he was the person behind the pseudonym, which would add another technological innovation to his resume, Dorsey demurred, "No, and if I were, would I tell you?" Although he's previously declined to detail his total stake in Bitcoin, I think Dorsey has a, I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure he has more than one Bitcoin. Dorsey has long been an advocate for the cryptocurrency in both his personal and professional lives. He has maxed out the weekly $10,000 buy limit through the Cash App, as confirmed on Twitter, and spoken frequently about the values that continue to keep him in Bitcoin's orbit. So for those of you who did not see this news floating around, because this was, for some reason, we're getting a lot of, the word is in mimicky news. It's kind of like something happens and everyone kind of makes it as if this is the only news on the entire planet. The news was, not joking, that Jack Dorsey said the words Satoshi Nakamoto and called Bitcoin's white paper poetry, and a lot of people were looking into if they had found any clues as to Jack Dorsey actually being Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't believe Dorsey is Nakamoto. If it is, that'd be a heck of a fake out. However, yeah, the other part is Dorsey, for those of you who weren't here last year, when Jack Dorsey came full out and told everyone that he thinks that Bitcoin is not only going to be the currency of the internet within the next couple of years, like as in the only currency of the internet, but he also thinks within about 10 to 15 years, Bitcoin will be like the only currency on the planet. So he really likes Bitcoin. And he also told everybody that through the Cash App, which is from Square, which he also is head owner, side owner, co-owner, I don't know his exact workings or dealings with Square, but he maxes out every single week $10,000 buying. And if you paying attention, Bitcoin's less than 10,000, so he's buying more than a Bitcoin a week just from the actual Square app. Yeah, not joking. This was all over the place. I guess it was the speculation that someone else that they could have possibly potentially been Satoshi Nakamoto, not that they actually were. So I guess that's why this kind of made the news, if you will. And he also called it poetry. If you even type in on Google or anywhere else, Jack Dorsey poetry, you'll find it. For some reason, people found it weird that he called it poetry, or that he, for some reason, liked the white paper, when it's clear that he's, I don't want to use the word obsessed. I think he just really, really likes Bitcoin. Anyway, yeah, that's the that's one segment of the everywhere news, because this was all over the place. If you've kept track of Jack Dorsey over the last like 2 years, you know he loves Bitcoin. I guess maybe this is still a new news story for many people out there. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Ripple is taking steps to expand the adoption of XRP, despite the standstill caused by 19. The crypto-focused payments company said its yearly Swell conference, which was set to take place in London, will be switched to a virtual conference. Ripple uses the event to bring together participants engaged in payments, blockchain, and financial services, as well as reveals details on the future of its products. Chris Wang, co-founder of blockchain incubator BitTrueSpace, says he received a notice from Ripple on its shift to a virtual event. It says, "After careful consideration, we've made the decision to transition Swell Global into an exclusive online experience. Although this is a unique way to connect, we are excited about the opportunity to engage with you this fall. Ripple also is working to engage with developers digitally, as it can no longer hold hackathons and meetups in person. Ripple Spring, which partners with and invests in companies that use decentralized technologies, is reaching out to the XRP engineers who are building products on the XRP ledger. The company says it's looking to feature XRP-related projects in a new developer reflection series. Here's the actual Swell website right here. It says Ripple Swell Global 2020. Swell Global is going virtual the 14th, 15th of October of this year. Is anyone surprised? You probably shouldn't be. This is happening to many other conferences as well. I assume this is probably exactly what it's going to look like, just gigantic screens that we are going to either have a camera on or we're going to be able to see this actual thing, camera going back and forth here. That apparently, oh no, the 2019 keynote speakers. I guess no one has really been announced for this year thus far. This was also everywhere. And even if you read the title, it says Ripple reveals major changes to Swell 2020 conference, pushes aggressive. A lot of other places were titling their titles as like major changes happening to Ripple. XRP, can it survive? It was all these really weird titles that people were kind of throwing out there. The big change, as it were, or the major change with Ripple and Swell this year is that it's going to be digital. I'm pretty certain all the other conferences as well, whether that be any other hackathon, Ethereum-a-thon, Bitcoin-a-thon. I think Tron also has a yearly conference as well. Just expect that they're all going to release news relatively soon that they're all going to be completely digital this year because, you know why. Anyway, yeah, that's the Ripple Swell news. Let's see. I mean, yeah. I was going to say, let's see if they announce or pre-announce something exciting, air quotes. But Swell is usually like they kind of just talk about partnerships, but not really anything further than that, at least for the last 3 Swell. So I'm not expecting anything major. But I mean, if history continues the same way it has before, there will be a spike in XRP's price as we move closer to Swell, and then a little dip off as Swell passes. Anyway. Let's move on. Next up, also in the news everywhere, as 19 makes it harder for businesses to rake in an income, a new app is offering users a way to earn cryptocurrency through Zoom, the popular video conferencing software. Called Smart Sessions, the Ethereum-based crypto paywall developed by 2Key New Economics, 2Key New, oh, that's a weird name. 2Key New Economics allows firms and solopreneurs, no one says that, to take advantage of crypto payments when offering services through Zoom. The company told CoinDesk in an email, the solution would help push people, or people pushed out of their normal premises. For example, teachers of activities such as yoga, advisors, or mentors, a way to offer video sessions and still receive payments. Smart Sessions utilizes the Ethereum network and smart contracts via 2Key's existing Smart Link platform to create a number of automated and self-managed features. After a session is set up in the app, it generates a personalized Zoom link and sends it to the target audience, processing payments automatically. Session hosts can also view metrics for data such as ticket sales and invite views. Tickets for Zoom sessions can currently be purchased with Ethereum's native cryptocurrency, Ether. 2Key said automated swaps between Ether and DAI, Tether, and TrueUSD are coming soon via Kyber, and Bitcoin and other crypto options are slated to be available next quarter. This was, I mean, it's actually great, so I can't even knock this even 1%. There have been a lot of people who've been affected, a lot of people I know who don't have jobs, lost their jobs, can't get any type of financial aid, support, help. So people are kind of looking for other ways to kind of really make money. I think this is heavily going to, I think everything that's going on right now is going to really push people to a more digital space. I know a lot of people who were working semi in the movie industry, working in this industry, working as like, not home decorators, what's the word? Interior designers is the correct term for it, and now they are jobless. They are without jobs, or they are furloughed until further notice, which is going to probably be for a while. So I told a very good friend of mine, hello if you are listening, years ago, we were trying to brainstorm as I think we were eating like nachos and something else, as to what to do in the future. And we actually came up with the idea of just doing things completely digitally online. And it served out well for what it's worth. I don't know how to really explain it, but this is going to, I've seen a lot of, so the people who I know who've lost their jobs, just to kind of finish this thought off, not to, drag on too long with this. It's more of a, if you can find out something to do online digitally, whether that is a content creator, just do something online where, should something else like this happen, you will be relatively secure in what you're doing. This is why I mentioned before, why I got into, myself, selling on eBay and Amazon, because it is a bit more secure. I know a lot of people who are not going to stores anymore, they're buying on eBay or Amazon. It helps money still come in as a cash flow. So yeah, you kind of all get what I'm saying. If you are worried about the potential future or whatever's happening right now, just try to there's tons of ways to make money online. Just kind of start, if you will. Anyway, this is great. I hope this continues on. I hope other video software programming platforms also do the exact same thing, because I think people are looking for options, and this is great. Especially if you have a job where you can't be in a room with people, you can still get paid. They may not be able to physically hand you money or whatever. At least you can still get crypto and still be able to pay some of your bills. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in news that was relatively everywhere news, the price of Hive, a hard fork of Steam, has skyrocketed following its listing on Huobi. The listing comes 1 month after Huobi and Binance mobilized customer funds to vote against the Steam community in favor of an apparent hostile takeover of the network led by Tron founder and recent owner of Steemit, Justin Sun. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Justin Sun, who created Tron, has been acquiring many companies within the cryptocurrency space. The news that I had, or that we saw, was that apparently the owner of Steam, I think, sold a controlling stake of the Steam tokens to Justin Sun. I think this was the news. Justin Sun decided to, once again, the news that we had, allegedly, was that Justin Sun was trying to take up all the voting for himself on the system. He said that the centralized method would make it more decentralized down the road. People disagreed. And apparently there was a huge decision to hard fork Steam, which was a social, or still is, a social media platform. And then it kind of became Hive. I think that was it. I think that's the whole story. However, the exchange claimed that Sun had misrepresented the nature of the event that they were voting on and quickly withdrew the votes. Shortly after, Huobi announced that it will be distributing Hive tokens to Steam holders after the hard fork. With Huobi now comprising 83% of Hive's total trading volume, the exchange has flooded what was previously a small market traded on Bittrex and a handful of tiny exchanges with liquidity, driving gains of more than 600% in over 3 days, alongside an increase in volume of more than 20 times. Hive is now the 31st largest crypto asset with a market cap of $285 million and is trading on for around 80 cents at the time of writing. There's a little pretty chart right there. By contrast, Steam is currently trading for nearly 18 cents and is the 68th largest. Oh, yeah, that kind of burns. Yeah, and is the 68th largest cryptocurrency with a market cap of 66 million. Yeah, that kind of burns. So if you look at the title, it says to Justin Sun's chagrin. Justin Sun's not happy. Huobi listing spikes Hive's price by 600%. If you just type in Justin Sun like angry or Justin Sun mad or Justin Sun something, you'll find it. The news was, and this is all allegedly because I haven't really seen the actual proof or information anywhere else, but it's written everywhere in every single article, that apparently Justin Sun is not too happy, not only with the hard fork of something that he purchased, which I mean is totally fine because in a decentralized world, people have the option and the right to be able to hard fork something. If you don't like it, hard fork it. If the community goes to the new chain, therefore that is the new dominant chain. If they don't go to the new dominant chain, then the other one's in the chain. So yeah, that is the Steam Hive news. I think the last 2 days we've been looking at the cryptocurrency prices, and always as we scroll on by, Hive is always up, and I'm like, why is Hive up? And I've seen some people in the comment section, they didn't really give me an answer. It was more like, man, you got to look into Hive, and it's like that's not an answer for why this was going up. So apparently, it seems that Hive has been listed on Huobi. It's relatively popular at the moment. I guess it's one of maybe the only exchange where it's being listed, and maybe this also did it. So we'll see in the next couple of weeks if this ends up being listed on Binance as well. I assume that would also potentially maybe drive up prices, but it's still more of a will the hype remain, and will people actually use this new platform? Yeah, so I guess that is the reason why Hive token has been going up dramatically, 600% over 3 days. That's a little pumpy. And I assume a little dumpy is going to be coming within the next couple of soon. Anyway, yeah, that's like everywhere I looked, it kept on saying that Justin Sun was very angry about the hostile takeover, of which he also performed a hostile takeover. So sure, why not? I mean, it's cool to see a coin. That is not to say AKOIN. That is ACOIN. Doing extremely well over the last couple of days. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Next up, Crypto Differ released a graphical chart based on the data from staking rewards on the 24th of April, detailing the crypto assets relying on proof of stake consensus mechanisms and their ranking based on the percentage of the circulating supply and the resulting USD value of the staked cryptocurrency. The combined value of all staked tokens has now reached $5.8 billion. That is a lot of money. The top 7 crypto assets in staking have at least $100 million in value locked. According to the data, here's where it gets absolutely insane. According to the data, Tezos has the top spot with 95.4% of its supply locked, with an estimated current value of $1.38 billion. EOS has the second spot with 64% of the total supply locked. Cosmos came in third with 77%. Why would it be third with 77? I mean, okay, it's US dollar value over total supply. 77% for Cosmos. Algorand has 60% and 382 million, and Dash was fifth with almost half of its supply locked and 48.2 million. Do you understand how insane to have 95.4% of your entire supply locked in staking? That is slightly obscene. Here's a chart right here about it. Can you do you understand what that does for the actual, and I dare not even use the word value of the coin, as far as like when you talk about a very stringent bottlenecked supply that is actually going around, like circulating supply? Like, can you imagine, for instance, if 94.5% of all the Bitcoin in the world were locked away in smart contracts, or were being held by people who had no intention of ever touching it for about 10, 15 years, what that would do to Bitcoin's price? The same exact thing can then also be said, is that this is probably why, speculation, why we're seeing Ethereum's price moving up over the last couple of weeks. Even what was it, yesterday or today? I don't remember. The thing that we also had where they were talking about the actual staking calculator for Ethereum, and how the difference between all the 1% of all the Ether being staked to 10% to 50%, how like it changes astronomically the amount of money that people would then make. Behind the scenes, there has to be a huge amount of movement. And I was going to say I hope, but I'm certain this is all happening. Between Cardano and Ethereum, there must be so much movement behind the scenes from either investors who are trying to get a lot of it, or just other plans for new decentralized financial apps to kind of come out and be released that are going to lock up these coins. We're going to at least have, I estimate anywhere from, no, listen, if you have just on proof of stake alone, was it 64% of EOS, 77% of Cosmos, 60% of Algorand, and 50% of Dash, there's going to at least be 50% of all the Ether out there is going to be locked up. The issuance rate is also going to drop. It is going to be absolutely insane. I don't know any of the actual numbers for Cardano. I see Cardano stuff released. It's just a tidal wave of stuff that never usually ends up happening. However, that'll probably also be something very interesting if we end up having 77% of all the Cardano locked up in something, or even just a proof of stake thing, not even the actual DeFi things. The really crazy part is 95% of an entire supply. That seems almost like, it doesn't seem real. Imagine 95% of the US dollar being locked up somewhere. And there was 4.6% left floating around on the entire planet. I don't know. But then we also kind of get into the discussion of the people who are actually locking up the Tezos, and we know it's mainly cryptocurrency exchanges. I think Coinbase is the number one. I think Coinbase, allegedly, also has a stake in Tezos, as far as like they've partnered with them in some sort of way. So I assume they're also making money from this. And I guess any new Tezos that's being created is probably just auto-staked by them and therefore rising this number. That's still huge. That's still absolutely obscene to even think that there's that much. Yeah, that's the staking news, if you will. Wow. Tron apparently has 38%. NEM has 39%. Synthetics Networks token has 85%. Cool. Yeah, this is a little weird. Let's see what ends up happening over the next couple of months as other coins do their transition or move over to a POS network. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, if you're not shocked by that, that's absolutely insane. Because think of, this is with the current usages of these coins. Like imagine in 2 years, Tezos actually becomes really popular. And we have the indication that 97.1% of all the Tezos is actually locked up and people are trying to use it for other DeFi projects and they simply can't get it. This was actually the original intent of EOS. But I guess EOS just simply... I wonder why EOS doesn't have more of it. I think it's May, or was it this month, where the people from Block 1 are supposed to start also taking a more active role in the EOS blockchain, so maybe more EOS will then also be locked up as well, especially if they can get more DeFi projects. Crazy, right? That's insane to think about. I guess that's the future of a lot of these coins, is to create them, buy them back, and lock them up, and then the 3 or 4 or 5% that's actually floating around is then used for the general public. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of, yeah. Let's move on. And to finish things off, it says many countries are trying to attract startups and companies with the implementation of strategic and more friendly legislation towards new technological developments. Portugal joined other countries in Europe by unveiling the implementation of a new technological free zone, which is aimed at encouraging tech companies around the world to relocate in the country and develop technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, nanotechnology, and of course, I assume the list just continues to go on. The plan is to create a tech hub attractive enough for companies to establish in Portugal, encouraging experimentation and innovation with a less strict regulation towards this specific field. Portugal, as the rest of Europe, is actively promoting a digital transformation plan that seems to, or seeks to bring, the region to the same level that other countries with significant technology advancements, such as the US and China. Yeah, without having to really read much further, I'm pretty sure you get the whole gist of everything. Portugal has, I give you a thumbs up. I am, whenever I am able to do so, planning a trip to Portugal because it sounds rather attractive. The idea of, for those of you who also don't know, at the moment, Portugal has a 0% tax rate on cryptocurrencies. So when you sell your crypto, I think you pay 0%, and I think also crypto transactions themselves, as if you're paying for something, I think are also not taxed. That could potentially change in the future, but as of right now, it sounds pretty nice. So I guess the creation of a new technology zone, I don't think it's going to be like it sounds sandboxy as far as like a play. I guess it's kind of a sandbox, like a place where people can kind of just do what they want to do in this one area without the hindrance of people breathing down their neck too much. Kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, that's the Portugal news. Imagine a world where all countries released news like this, and they were all vying for the attention of tech startups and tech companies to go into their country, and they paid no taxes. But I mean, that's completely unrealistic, especially in the current world we're living in. Anyway, good job, Portugal. And I think like 3 other countries around the world who have 0% tax rates on crypto. Very good job to them. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon. What's wrong with my phone? Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Yasha Harari, Moonman High, XRP, The Potheads, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Storio, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moy Hammeroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas Renault, One Piece, One Love, Damien Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Munn, Yalavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Cal Skips Leg Day, yes, 2 Crypto, Buddy McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa on Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and hold on, I have to sneeze. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. And thank you to everyone who supports me in a plethora of other ways, however you might do so. It is very much appreciated. At the moment, Bitcoin is above 7,700. Apparently, so first of all, before I started the video, we were right around here. We were at 76, like 20 or something like that. Apparently, the news is or was, I think over the nighttime, I think Bitcoin hit 77.80, 77 something. It looked like we were getting closer to 8,000. Apparently, this was rejected, and the price started to go down. But it looks like things are moving on back up. I think Ethereum hit 200 sometime yesterday evening. I can't remember the exact timing, but I looked at the price. I think it was like 204 cents, like very like just there. This is why you see this steep drop right here, because I assume people panicked because other people thought they were going to panic. Stop panicking. Stop the panic selling. It's always the pattern always is, we hit the number that everyone was afraid that we were going to hit, and they assume that there's resistance there. Once we end up hitting that number, everyone starts to panic sell, assuming that everyone else is also going to panic sell. And then about a day or two later, we end up re-hitting that number because we re-hit that number before everyone goes, okay, it's fine to hit it again. Sure. I think XRP possibly hit 20 cents. This could be what this little upward swing around here was as well. Where's the other one? Cardano's up by 8%. I assumption this is because we have been getting the news sprinkled across the last week, as far as like is the new wallet that was released, and also the impending release of Shelly sometime within the next 33 days. That is to say, all of May and or the last couple of days of this month. And where's the other one? Hive is currently up still by 40%. I assume off of the back of what we were just talking about. Sure. It was 31. Now it's 29. I don't know how much longer this momentum is going to really hold up. The hype will eventually falter, especially if no one is actually using the platform, just to kind of say like no one was really using Steam before. So there's a hard fork of Steam. One can only assume that people may not also be using Hive in the future. But if you had this coin for the last couple of days, you've made some pretty good monies, so good job there. Dogecoin is also up by almost 7%. And I think the spam bots have also stopped with the buy Digibyte stuff, because it's really sad that it works on people, I saw at least the last couple of videos. Every video has had anywhere from 20 to 25 people talking about Digibyte. Digibyte's this, Digibyte's the best, Digibyte's gonna so-and-so, Digibyte's gonna bite your bite. And it's like, okay, I got it, cool, you're a spam bot. But apparently people were buying it as the price was being pumped. Always pay attention to the actual volume of a coin. 15 million, once again, while this may seem like a lot to some, is very easy for some people to be able to control the market. You don't need exactly 15 million to be able to move the prices. You can move it with a couple of million. If you have a couple $1 million of a buy order for said coin, the price is going to start to go up, and then it's very easy to resell it on another manipulation. The point is, yeah, we are in a very weird market. I expect the great tidal wave to happen over the next 2 years. The great tidal wave being the washout of an enormous amount of these coins. A lot of these coins that I'm passing by are not needed, are never going to be used. There's probably not a future. I'm not going to even say any coin names, but you're never going to be using these. You're not going to be staking them. You're not going to be holding them in a wallet. You're not going to be hoping and wishing that they are going to be a reserve currency, because a lot of these coins are not, I promise you. But at the moment, it is good to see some green in the market. Let's see if it continues. Let's see if I don't know what the stock futures were. I honestly have no idea. I didn't even check. But I'm going to assume stock futures were probably not maybe, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe they're not hyper optimistic, but you never know nowadays. Jobless rates go to 30% and the stock market goes up by a good couple $1 billion. So, you know, logic. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all, every single one of you, once again, for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.